Welcome back. It's Brendan Borman. Today we're going to hear from some 270 players who their favorite candidates are to play inside of 270 and why. Some of them are S tier, some of them are just added because it's really fun. Let's hear the first video.
So what I love about Lincoln is his versatility and strengths. He only has one penalty, which is Old South. That's it. Meanwhile, he has a number of solid bonuses which creates a number of viable paths. Lincoln's 50% African American bonus is epic. If you manage to get AA and hold it for most of the game, then you're likely to win. But what if you don't get AA? You still have a solid 30% swing bonus and 30% manufacturing bonus. So you can go through Florida, get swing, and then pivot to Texas to get manufacturing. Lincoln could then add on agriculture, oil, and maybe even export. Meanwhile, you'd still be in the hunts for AA. So Lincoln through Florida and Texas can be very powerful. What about New York? If the opponent targets Florida and swing, then you can base Lincoln in New York and go all out for AA. Lincoln also has a 30% town and gown bonus, which is something to keep in mind when the map is fixed. So in summary, you've always got something to work with when playing as Lincoln, and that's why I think he's the best candidate.
Thank you, Sapun. Now let's hear from Joe Mitchell about FDR.
Alright guys, I'm here to tell you about FDR and why he's one of my favorite candidates. I will be the first to admit, he is not one of the OP candidates. On the recent poll that was put up, he was probably the weakest of all of them. He simplifies the game. There's only really one way to win with FDR. He's got 2 OP bonuses. So you start by getting that 40% labor bonus. So you go after that first. And then the second thing you need to do is go after Texas. Now you have access to the oil boosts, but also the manufacturing states. And that's the other bonus that you need to take advantage of when you have FDR. There are so many manufacturing states that get your foot in the door with so many other boosts. The biggest one that you're going to want to get, even though it's one of the more modest boosts, is the agriculture boost. Then if you can get the oil boost too, because you started with Texas, then you're in like Flynn. So let's start with the swing states. In the manufacturing, we got Wisconsin, Michigan, used to be Ohio, not anymore, Pennsylvania, and North Carolina. So those are huge swing states that you can put pressure on and maybe work toward those boosts. The agricultural boost and the oil boost will help you put pressure on Florida and California too. And if you do this just right, you have a real good chance of winning with FDR. So it simplifies the game, there is less to think about, and you have 2 OP boosts to take advantage of. FDR, thumbs up.
Thank you, Joe. Now it's time to hear about George Washington from Danilo.
Hello, 270 Lounge. My name is Danilo Peric. I am here to basically tell you about why I think that George Washington is the best candidate to use in the game right now as an S tier candidate. His national group bonuses, it makes him very a dangerous competitor in the game. With his big conservative, allowing him to get possibly 70k per turn, with also his evangelicals of 52.5k per turn. He is very flexible because he has a 20% swing state, which gives him 120k in terms of swing, in terms of expanding. He also has a great town and gown. He can go into New York or swing, but as of now, that town and gown isn't really fixed how we want it to be, with California and New York occupying both high tech and town and gown. His agriculture bonus that gives him 80k can basically allow him to enter swing or Florida. It's a very good bonus. I think it's one of the best bonuses that has ever been produced because that 80k can really be used as something to put pressure on people. The manufacturing bonus, which can put pressure on also swing. He doesn't have a good oil and gas, but that could be really fixed with manufacturing, as he has, I think, 108.5k of manufacturing. I think the best candidate to use, especially when you're playing someone like Thomas Jefferson, when you're playing any other S tier candidate, because he is unbelievable.
Thank you, Danilo. Let's hear from Chad Harris about RR84.
Hey everybody, here's the case for Ronald Reagan 84 being the strongest candidate in 270. he's a very versatile candidate in which you can go Old South and swing, especially when you incorporate Georgia now as a swing state. Michigan being a swing state, also you can get to manufacturing and high tech. You can go the Cali, Texas play, get those bonuses, and use this 35% oil and gas bonus. You don't have to worry about using it for town and gown, especially with how hard town and gown is to get now. Considering he came the closest to a clean sweep of states in the Electoral College in 1984, he should be the strongest candidate in the game. And honestly, it isn't close.
Thank you, Chad. Let's hear from Carlos about Andrew Jackson.
Hi, my name is Carlos Enriquez. I am an avid 270 player. I would like to talk to you today about one of my favorite characters, Andrew Jackson. The reason I like Andrew Jackson is he has a very strong gun lobby bonus. With his gun lobby bonus, you can tactically clash early against your opponent. But if you have Old South with Andrew Jackson, that 35% bonus comes in quite handy. Once you have Old South, you can decide where you go with it. You can go swing, AA, although Andrew Jackson has a negative bonus on AA. If you combine those three, Oasis, that has a above 16% on the aggregate. It allows you to dominate the game. Thank you. I hope to see you soon in the lobby.
Thank you, Carlos. Let's hear from Alex about Donald Trump 2024.
My vote for Trump 24 as the best candidate in game was just motivated to do so because of me supporting him in this election. But don't get me wrong, he is a really good A-tier, probably one of the best ones to play on A-tier battles. He scores bigly on starting point of the game with big national groups and a hunky Old South bonus. He's also really good with a fashion late game Cali-Tex route with his huge oil bonus. Coupled with that are classic state pressuring with his evangelical gun lobby combo, but that's all I can give.
Hi, my name is Jonathan, and my favorite character in the 270 game is Theodore Roosevelt. He's my favorite because he's got very diverse bonuses on almost all the state groups. The only one that has penalties is Old South. Even with that penalty, sometimes it's worth going for that group. I don't tend to go for national groups very much. My favorite is Gun Lobby, and he also has a bonus in that one. And then in real life, he's great because he balanced having pro-worker economic policies with pro-family, pro-life, social conservative policies. And he also was a conservationist and helped with Congress to establish and expand many national parks and forests. And he was just also a brave man.
Thank you to all 270 players who participated in this video. Thank you to everyone who voted in the poll about best candidates. And now, here are a few candidates that were not mentioned that I felt like were worthy enough to make this video. John F. Kennedy is a very versatile candidate, 30% African American, high-tech and town and gown crossover, has those swing states, and only a 15% oil and gas penalty. Barack Obama has really strong bonuses. His penalties are a bit more aggressive with oil in Old South, but if you can get AA, high-tech Latino, town and gown, you're golden. But I prefer Michelle Obama. She has a little bit higher of a swing state bonus, a little bit less penalties, and just more overall versatility. Right now, one of the most popular candidates in the game with the California town and gown is Thomas Jefferson. Look for him to take a hit when the new update gets released and town and gown goes back out of California. Santa Claus, one of the strongest versatile candidates with a 15% bonus all across the board and no penalties. Uncle Sam, a little bit stronger bonuses in certain areas, but only 10% bonuses in some other areas like African American or high tech. Do you love playing 270? Have you not subscribed yet? What are you doing? Hit that button. Help us reach 5K before Election Day. If you enjoy novelty candidates and you stayed around to the very end, then here's a sneak peek for the new candidate, Cupid, coming to 270. With 14% bonuses across the board, just one less than Santa Claus, but with a 41% bonus in youth group and a 41% bonus in women's movement, look for Cupid to be the next mainstay in novelty candidates.